So I used to enjoy the Bourne Identity series of movies an okay amount. They were a bit gloomy, but I liked them. It's just the endings were all kind of eh. But today, actually, sorry, earlier this morning, because at 4 a.m. this morning, really late at night, last night, I watched the Bourne Identity again. Haven't seen it in like years, 5 or 6 years at least. And knowing how, like, my opinions of the other films, I kind of feel like it's a series that shouldn't have gone past the first film. Because the first film doesn't really ask for a second one. At least not in my opinion. Because it's a nice happy ending. Or at least it doesn't ask for a second one where Marie dies. Did she die in the second one? I think she died in the second one. Not really sure. But I just remember, it's like, I just remember a lot of the other movies mostly being him running around and trying to, what would the term be, like, damage control of how much they fucked up his life? When at the end of the first one, his life seemed pretty unfucked. But then, at the ending of every other Bourne movie I've seen, which is only like 2 of the other ones, like the Bourne Identity, Bourne Supremacy, and the Bourne Ultimatum, I think. And, yeah, because that's what it was. Right before the Bourne Ultimatum came out, we were kind of big into the series, and we watched the first 2, and then we watched that one in the theaters. Then we really didn't watch it since, so what was that, 2009, 2008? So that was like 8 years ago, maybe? And, I don't know, it's just like, because like, the other 2 movies I've seen, it seems like, even at the end, his life was still fucked up. At least that's what I remember of it. So, I'm kind of curious. Like, well, not really curious. It's just like, that's just my opinion. From what I can tell, that it seems like there wasn't really a need for more films. It was kind of just like a nice little single film. Some people need to know when to not make a sequel, I think. But, equally so, some people need to know when to ignore sequels. Because I think I can just ignore the other ones and enjoy the first one. Unless there's some big story arc in the other ones. I don't know, but it's like, for the most part, some of the actions in action movies can just be a bit too much action. It could just be the filming style, but I don't know. I think having to watch through like 7 films of action to see a story, to see him wind up in a defucked state of life that was already established and already completed in the first film is kind of just pointless. It seems like it was just like a grab for money, cash grab. That's the term. I don't know. Oh well. Granted, though, I am getting over being sick, because the reason I was watching a bunch of movies yesterday was because I was sick, and I was just like, it was like I kind of had I had a little bit of a fever, it was like 99.9 degrees Fahrenheit, and then it dropped down, and so I slept for like 20 hours, and then I just like, oh, I'm getting better now, because like for me, whenever I'm a little bit sick, it kind of hits me a little hard, and I make sure to rest a lot. But it's a very quick thing for me. Like, usually it's like 1.5 days of me being sick, and that's usually it. But that's because I make sure to get a lot of rest, and I eat a lot and drink a lot and stuff like that, and stay hydrated. Or maybe it's just because I'm young. I don't know. But yeah, so right at the curve of whenever I was starting to feel a little better, that's whenever I was like, you know what, I'll just watch a bunch of movies. So I watched like Rush Hour, and Bourne Identity, and The Force Awakens, which is a really good film. Switching gears, so I liked Bourne Identity. Great film. I think it should stay as its own. I like Rush Hour too. I like Rush Hour also. And I think I remember liking the Rush Hour sequel also. 2 and 2 is difficult. The number 2, zwei, whatever. The second film, Rush Hour sequel. I like this Rush Hour sequel. Fuck, I'm just a little too tired right now. But yeah, so I was thinking about, like, how does Rogue One fit into my new, like, ranking of Star Wars films? And I was almost gonna put Star Wars Rogue One ahead of The Force Awakens, but I couldn't really tell. Then it occurred to me, it's been like a year since I've seen The Force Awakens. So I went and rewatched that, and it's like, no, it's still my favorite Star Wars film. But so yeah, it's like, it was kind of nice to rewatch that. I hadn't realized it'd been so long. 2016 has really flown by. It's been a really fun year, really interesting and adventuring year, it seems like. I guess for me, the year of adventure would have to be 2015, because that's whenever I, like, left home. And then 2016 is when I came back. It's the year of returning? I don't know. I just think 2016 has been a really nice year. Which is funny, because, like, there's so many people like, 2016 is such a fucking bad year. But it's like, it seems like a pretty good year. We have, like, 128 gigabyte SD cards, or not SD cards, 128 gigabyte flash drives for, like, really cheap at the stores and stuff like that. And I've actually, so this is actually one thing, like, back in 2006 or something like that, whenever they had, like, I heard, like, there was a prototype 128 gigabyte flash drive that Samsung had made or whatever. I can't remember when this was, maybe 2009, 2010. And you really couldn't buy it. It was like, if you wanted to get one, it'd be like thousands of dollars. And I was like, one of these days, I'm going to get myself a 128 gigabyte flash drive. And in my head, that's kind of ticked up to 256. But still, 256 is even really close. Like I could get a 256 gigabyte flash drive. I think Samsung makes a really nice little flash drive that whenever you flick it forward, it has like a nice spring action. So you push the button forward and then it pops. So there's like a gearing mechanism and like I don't know, some lever system where it has a nice activation feel whenever you pop the USB connector out to plug it in. So that was 3 topics. Probably a lot more than 3 topics in this video. I'm probably just going to go to bed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and thank you very much for watching. See ya.